Good morning. Today's going to be a day in the life of former entrepreneur, now someone who runs growth for an enterprise AI startup. I'm going to take you along probably today and also this week and what I'm doing. I just woke up about 5 minutes ago. It's 6:32, and typically when I wake up, I'm located on the east coast of San Francisco. So I like to just enjoy the sunrise, have a nice view of the water, Bay Bridge, collect my thoughts, meditate a little bit. This vlog, I'm not really sure what it's going to look like. I think it's going to be a bit of a freestyle, but I think it's going to hold me accountable to what I actually do on a daily basis, what I work on, who I spend my time with. And so I'll take you guys along. This week is a launch week. We are rebranding to Coworker.ai. So it's a completely new product suite, completely new name. There's going to be a lot of PR done around this launch, and it's going to be exciting. Last week I booked 13 demos, 14 if we count the weekend, for the company. This week I'm shooting for 20, and we're really close to product market fit, which means it's going to start to become a Ruthberg machine and turn out demos, turn out new enterprise clients. Talent is going to start onboarding with the company like a bullet train, and it's going to be exciting. So I got to SF not long ago. We're setting up an office here, and I just have this short-term rental, wonderful desk, wonderful view. Typically my morning is I wake up, I drink some water, and I'll just kind of sit down and do a little reading, have some sun in my eyes, look at the view of the city as well. And once I've kind of have my mindset in the right direction, I'll go for a run just on the water line over there, and take a shower, shave, and then get to work. Now when it comes to diet, I'm really like a 80-20 utilitarian. Like, I see all this hype about electrolytes. I literally just do a lime and a little bit of sea salt. I used to take 0 supplements. Now I just do a multivitamin, 2 or 3 of these magnesium pills at night, helps me sleep. And then some fish oils. I heard it's good for your brain health. I could take a bunch of other pills, but like, if I don't even see the difference or I know that they're working, what's the point? And then recently I got into some herbal tea. I don't drink coffee anymore. I might do occasionally, but I found that I think better usually when I'm just calm, and sometimes I'll be stimulated, but not often. A little bit later, I'll walk you guys through my diet. I don't want to be gay or fruity about this. It's something that has helped me with mental clarity and just get to a point where I can lock in my work. I have some groceries to pick up just a little bit later today, and I'll show you guys what I eat. About to start running, just walking to the bay. Gotta wait for a large traffic light. Anyways, it's a beautiful day. Actually, super grateful for this weather. Been having the sun, having this nice cool breeze that's not too cold, not too hot, is just fantastic. And when I run, I usually don't listen to music. I'll do like a podcast. Right now I'm doing Joe Rogan with Jack Dorsey. I find the person an interesting character, and I want to learn more about what made him successful with Twitter and what he exactly is trying to do with Block, formerly known as Square, payment processing, and then also potentially crypto payments. Could it be like a next PayPal? So I'm gonna start running and enjoy this wonderful morning. 5 kilometers finished. Now we start our day. I feel fresh. I feel awake. Just got back from a run, got a little protein in. I'm gonna start my day here. I'll walk you guys through my office. We're waiting on the keys from our leasing agent, so I'm just working out of my apartment. Now, if I can share kind of anything about work or productivity, the biggest thing I've learned over the last couple of months is simplify. Make things just as simple as possible. I try to keep Slack closed. I don't have push notifications on my phone. I don't get Slack pings. As you can see on my laptop, in my desktop, I literally have no tabs on my Chrome browser. I don't have a bunch of stuff hovering around on the left side. It's just a blank canvas. I have a little journal to jot down ideas and stuff that comes to mind. People have these complex Notion documents or Jira boards for their work. I literally just use an Apple Notes to write these things down. I try to not make it a task list, and I just try to make it my priorities. And then usually when the sun kind of goes past the whatever we call that, I'll open the shade and have a nice view of the bay. It gets a little hot if I do otherwise. And as you can see, most of my day this week is not super intense. I have a few meetings. I try to keep meetings to a minimum. Kind of our culture here, and the reason why we're building this product is because employees are stuck in meetings, and AI should really handle all this chit chat and information sharing on their behalf. This week we're doing a huge launch. So most of my priorities right now are launching and managing cold email and LinkedIn campaigns. I spent last week writing them, looking at the scripts, seeing what I can do better, configuring the lead lists. Now it's all just about launching them. And I have a few people I hired as well, so I'm going to be overseeing them. Some are freelancers, some are part-time, and it's going to be an exciting week. Let's get to it.
All right, guys. Well, lots of stuff happening. Good stuff.
Got back from a little grocery trip. Took me 15 minutes. I'll show you guys exactly what I eat every day and what keeps me clean and sharp up here. So I laid this out on the countertop, but 90% of my diet is literally just 10 one-ingredient foods. In the morning, I stick with protein and fats only, as well as the afternoon. In the evening, around 6 p.m., I'll typically have 2 packs of these. That's 150 grams of carbs. If I have a workout, I might have like an RX bar or a banana. And I have all of this usually ordered from Amazon. If not, like there's a market nearby, so I don't have to cook anything, no mess. It's very quick. And I have chicken breast, salmon, eggs, macadamia nuts, cacao nibs, protein powder with literally nothing but protein, Parmesan cheese, sardines. That's in the morning and afternoon. And then maybe some bananas, RX bars if I work out, and then the rice in the evening. Very straightforward. It's about 4:40. I feel a little bit drained, so I'm gonna do an early dinner, go for a walk by the bay, refresh my mind, do about 3 hours of admin tasks, get back to a few people, jot down some notes. I'm trying to start going to bed earlier because I'm on the Pacific, and a lot of our team and also clients and also freelancers are located in New York, Atlanta, and Europe. And so trying to be at my desk before 7 is the idea. But it's going to be exciting and lots of work to be done. I try to orient my days around being an operator and being a decision maker, and less of somebody that just, does a bunch of tasks or is involved in technical weeds. Because if you really break it down, that person can be outsourced or that person can be automated for a very low marginal cost. But somebody that is kind of this conductor or this orchestrator of the business Ruthberg machine is really invaluable. And I think developing your mind, I think getting the most context as possible, and putting some kind of A+ talent or structure into the business is really the goal here and what I'm trying to do. It's not easy, but it's definitely a fulfilling ride. Yeah, so typically I try to work from 8:30 to 6. Take a little walk around the sunset, go back and just chill, do some admin work for 2.5 hours. Obviously days are different. I was gonna film some stuff while I was going for my evening walk by the bay yesterday, but my phone ended up dying, so I'll just do it today as well because I just finished up dinner. But today is Tuesday, May 20th. We officially launched Coworker.ai. It's a big rebrand from Village Labs. We have a lot of PR, a lot of stuff going on LinkedIn. Today we had over 26 people request a demo. We had through our website, 6 demos booked through cold email alone, 0 over LinkedIn. We had some hiccups with our rented accounts, but now we have 59 inside of HeyReach, and I'm getting ready to prepare a huge campaign for those accounts. And I feel like we're at a capacity where we're about to start that Ruthberg machine of momentum, where we can put money in, demos pop out the other end. I maybe have to spend 5 to 10 hours a week on that. Demos come out, we can put money into AEs. Those demos turn into paying clients. Then we can take that money and put them into more AEs and more demos and really make this an enterprise juggernaut. I just finished up dinner. I'm gonna go for my walk and share some additional stuff with you guys there. So I started a routine of going for a 15-20 minute walk shortly after my evening meal. You know, that's really my form of meditation, trying to collect my thoughts, put myself in a higher vibration. Some people, they need to meditate in a quiet room for 45 minutes. Others need to go to an ayahuasca trip in Bali or Peru. Personally, this is what works for me. Going on a 15-20 minute walk, listening to some house music, a podcast, sometimes no music. That's what really helps me point myself in the right direction. Ask some of those thoughts about what I'm doing, what I'm here, what actually matters to me, and align my priorities in the right direction. It's actually a very beautiful day in San Francisco. It's been a beautiful day every day for the last couple of weeks. I've loved downtown so far. Honestly, the weather doesn't get better than this. And I think there's something about being on the water, having a view of the bay, just oceans in general, that I aspire to. You know, a lot of young people that are in business or so-called online entrepreneurship, they chase after woman, money, fast car, or some kind of materialistic goal. Even if it's a reptilian motivation, that never really cut it for me. The closest one for me was probably to be in like one of those, maybe like one of those over there, penthouses with the floor to ceiling windows, 60, 70 floors up, very quiet, very peaceful, and just this magnificent view of the water and an ability to almost like see the curvature of the earth, if you will. And the reason why I like that is because I think it gives you perspective. And perspective is what I truly value. And that can be a little bit difficult when you even live on a nice mansion, but it's just on the ground level, right? Now, I wanted to take the chance to talk about perhaps why I'm starting this YouTube channel. As I thought over it, mulled over it, I really came to the conclusion that it's to produce valuable content. And I feel like we live in an age where distribution, garnering attention for the right purposes, of course, is an extremely high leverage act. In doing so, without having any contingencies, without asking for anything, without being a sellout, because as soon as you put a paywall behind your content or the reason why you're making that content, I feel like you do lose your integrity, even if that's not your intention. Consumers and people who don't know you make a decision about who you are within really a fraction of a second. I want to elaborate on the point about starting this channel. I don't really think I finished it, but I read this book a couple flights ago called The Go-Giver, and it's essentially this book. I think it's like a Judeo-Christian view
on, loving your neighbor, being as valuable as possible, giving to people, and not asking anything in return, not having any contingencies or expectations. And the idea is it comes back to you, not because of karma, but because people appreciate you. People want to build relationships with you. And I think it's a good mindset around orienting your life. And that's kind of the approach I want to have to this channel. I think there are a few auxiliary things that kind of motivate me here, which is, I don't know why, but for some reason, picking up the camera, it just gives me so much more energy. And it also provides this accountability function where I have to be authentic and I have to be true with what I say and what I do, because I can't let myself show or say one thing on camera and do a different thing, in real life. And I feel like we're in a world where there's a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off running around, with their titties or with their whatever Lambos or achievements, trying to show something off, and it's very superficial. And I think in a world of billions of users on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, even just personal media channels, the people who are most authentic and have the highest integrity are going to have not just followers, not just viewers, but actual souls, actual people who value their content. And that's kind of where I aspire to be. I want to have the practicality and the volume of someone like Alex Hormozi, but also the artistic element of, Luke Belmar, or had a call a year ago, Daniel Dallin. I haven't so much decided what exactly this channel is going to be about, but I do think there are a few aspects to consider. I used to be a founder. Now I'm a very early employee running growth for an enterprise AI company called Killworker. So I do think there's some value, some level of interest I have sharing what I learned on that journey and just being as helpful as possible. Whether it be something like high level, like decision making, recruitment, just like business talk. Again, I'm no business expert, but I think I'll develop there. And then also on the pragmatic side, I've learned a ton in lead generation, cold email, LinkedIn, CRM automations, and just general growth systems. And a second piece to this is, I think there's something to be said about just taking something super simple, like raw footage from a camera, just looking at a lens, a basic 60 frames per second capture of the world, and turning that into a story, an emotion, a message that humans can understand and interpret. That's more than just the transcript, that's more than just the photos, but it has this artistic aspect to it. So I think that's interesting. And then third is, I do see myself as a journalist. And it sounds cliche, like, oh, back in the early 2000s, everybody wanted to work for the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal. But that's not the type of journalism I'm talking about. I'm talking about this rare view on the world where it's one of unfiltered perspective. You can change your mind very easily. You also are just an extremely curious individual. You love to study, and you have integrity and morals around it. You can't be swayed by someone else's opinions. You can't be bought out. And I think that's a view, a voice that is very rare in the common world. And so I want to speak about things like AI and how it's going to be the greatest technology of the human race. Potentially have some episodes or some documentaries about kind of life and what all this means. And I have some things to share on that. As well as the public markets, investing, Bitcoin, what's happening in the geopolitical situation of America, Russia, China, what it may be. And overall, I'm just going to freestyle it, I might put up a Loom video about a specific growth system automation. I might make a documentary style video about a company that just raised $200 million. Or I might have just like a freestyle vlog, enjoying the bay on an evening walk and talking about myself. I don't want to be a narcissist, but it often does happen that as people pick up the camera, it is at the end of the day about themselves, because how can I record myself and not be talking about myself? But I think it's just part of it. we'll see where the journey evolves. I'm gonna finish up my walk, enjoy this spectacular evening, and if anything else comes up, I'll share it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Otherwise, bye.